Hello, everyone. Led by Oysters. Hello, and welcome to Cupid Parasite. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be doing another Gill episode today. Probably a normal episode, an hour-long episode. And we're going to be... I don't actually know how many parts it takes to finish the... Sorry, I'm doing my hair while I do this. Okay, so I don't remember how long it takes to clear these, to finish these. Let me go look at Shelby real quick. Shelby Endings, part 6. And we're on Gill, part 3. So, halfway there. We're halfway through Gill right now. Sorry for the lack of Gill uploads. I've been on a 9-rip binge. Saya is what keeps me on that binge. Saya's a really good character. Probably my favorite. It's hard to pick between Kuroha and Saya because they're completely different, but they're both like highly entertaining. Kuroha is the super sweet guy, and Saya is the hopeless romantic that takes everything Misa says out of context. So it's been very enjoyable to read, and I'm on chapter 7 now. I haven't read chapter 7, but I'm on chapter 7. I had to record twice. Not yesterday. No, not yesterday. The day before yesterday. I had to record 2 because the last episode in the common route was 30 minutes long, a cliffhanger, and it was terrible. So that actually is scheduled to come out for tonight. I think I'm going to push it back a day because it's 10, and even though I've only had 2 hours of sleep, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this edited and put out tonight. So yeah, we're halfway through Gills, and there's no conflict. So I guess the conflict is just like everyday life. The conflict is with Cupid. Cupid debating whether she wants to quit her job and be a stay-at-home wife and support her husband, which is pretty mild compared to the other conflicts of this fan disc. Shelby was trying to have his company usurped, bought out from underneath him pretty much, his wife stolen, and I guess Ryuki's was kind of minor as well because Ryuki took it personally, but Rei only wanted her as like his compliment to modeling. That was it. So that was minor too, but Ryuki just blew it out of proportion. Anyway, the next day, it was our first day off together in a while. We spent a lot of time in bed in the morning before heading out on a date. Is this the day after? Gil had been spending a lot of time in his workshop lately, so we decided to go on this date for a change of pace.
Ah, 太陽が眩しい。てか、日が出てる間に外に出るの久しぶりだ。
You're gonna wear your work outfit out on your date? What's wrong with you? Look, she's dressed up. Come on, Gil, you've been holed up in your workshop every day for quite some time now.
あはは、ごめん。開発がちょうどいいところで。でも、ようやくそろそろ工房作業も終わりそうな雰囲気になってきたよ。会社の仕事の方も結構人に任せられるようになったし、これまで通りになると思う。
Oh, that's good to hear. We strolled arm in arm through Lost Wreck together. There was a place I wanted to visit with Gil. It was a trendy donut shop called Mao Donuts. You're going to come into Mariance, or whatever his name is. Probably. We arrived at Mao Donuts. Mo? I want to call it Mao because of cats, but whatever. We arrived at Mo Donuts, where a long line had already formed.
うわあ、人気なんだね。ここが行きたいって言ってた店？
As far as new guy goes, I'm going to do a poll at the end of Gil's route to see which one you guys want me to do, either route or new guy. And then I'll do both of those back to back before I get into what I'm looking forward to the most. Yes, this is where we want to go. Yeah, it is, but the line is much longer than I expected. What do you want to do?
俺は並ぶのは平気だよ。君が一緒ならさ。
We're dedicated to our donuts. Let's get in line then. I want to give it a try.
うん。
We joined the end of the line. There were many couples chatting or looking at their phones while waiting. They discussed their dating life, school life, and their favorite YouTubers even fashion. There were many topics circulating while we also checked our Instagram together. Oh look, there he is. Bye.
Oh?
Are you going to give them a prophecy too? What's wrong?
いや、ごめん、気のせい。誰かが君を見てた気がしちゃって。それよりほら見て。前に見たラブバーズの新作動画が上がってる。
Lovebirds? Oh, you mean that romance YouTuber we watched while we were planning our wedding?
そうそう。実はあれからたまに見てるんだ。ほら見て。ここの動画のコメント欄に俺の本買ったなんて書き込んでくれてる人がいるんだ。
We looked at the comments and we found reviews about Gil's book and how it had helped make their wedding successful. You're right. I'm so happy for you, Gil.
うん。
I hadn't realized the Lovebird channel was also promoting Gil's book. This book made me want to fall in love. My boyfriend and I made up. I got over my crush thanks to this. Those were the kinds of comments people were leaving. Wow, Gil's book has given so many people hope. Those comments made me feel proud as if they were about me. One comment caught my eye. Thanks to Lovebird's video, I'm now dating my love. He really is a romance YouTuber after all. He's kind of a modern Cupid.
実はこの間の動画がアップされた時期の本の売り上げを調べたら、ちょうど売り切れて増刷した頃と被っててさ。
Really?
うん。他にメディアに取り上げられた記録もなかったし、多分彼の動画のおかげなんだと思う。わかりやすく恋愛を解説してくれてるし、チャンネル登録者数も多いから影響力大きいんだね。
While we were talking, Gil started playing the latest video. We watched it together on his phone. Yay.
おしどり目指してラブフライ。恋も愛もスパイスオブライフ。あなたに届けこの思い。恋愛系 YouTuber のラブバーズです。更新が急に止まってごめんね。実はなんとオイスターに当たっちゃってたんだ。
Well, it sounds like it's going to be relevant to whatever section this was called again.
せっかくだからと思って生で食べたんだけど、感染性胃腸炎になっちゃって、いやあれほんとつらいね。ってことで今日は病院で聞いた恋愛トークについて話していくよ。
Lovebirds began his romantic advice segment with stories from nurses during his hospital stay. He shared photos of the oysters that had poisoned him and even discussed the hospital food. It was entertaining, but he got food poisoning from oysters.
何か思い出すような。
You guys already forgot.
というかこのオイスター写真見た気がするんだけど。
お次のお客さんどうぞ。
あと動画止めなきゃ。
Gil paused the video and stepped up to the counter, but he was surprised at what he saw. One of the employees was a familiar face. Who is it?
いらっしゃい。どちらをお召し上がりに。
あ
あれ
Do they know each other?
君たちネプチューン祭りで救急車を呼んでくれた人ですよね。
Oh, is it?
ってことはやっぱり君オイスター食べて倒れた人？
そうそう。うわ、あの時はありがとうございました。
For some reason, I don't recognize his voice, so maybe I have to go back and listen to it again. How have you been feeling since then?
おかげさまで。まさかロサンヨークで恩人に再会するなんて思わなかったな。ずっとお礼言いたいって思ってたんです。
あははは、無事でよかったです。
Wait, I've heard that voice somewhere before. It wasn't at the Neptune Festival. I was trying to think of where I had heard that voice. I realized something seeing Gil's phone. Oh.
お、どうしたの？
He loved birds. I pointed at Gil's phone without thinking. On the screen was someone wearing a Lovebirds hoodie, resembling the person we were talking to. Gil realized it too, and his eyes widened.
あれ本当だじゃあまさか君がラブ
しすみません。それ同僚には内緒にしてて。
You just go blurt it out. Like, he wears a hood for a reason.
あ、ごめん。
いえ。俺のことはロビンって呼んでください。それで。
すみません。チョコミントドーナツ一つください。
はい、かしこまりました。
と、まずい、混んでたんだった。後で改めてお礼したいんで、連絡先教えてもらってもいいですか？
あ、そうだよね。ごめん。
Gil and Robin exchanged information. While they were doing that, I was looking at the display case. Wow, everything looks so good, I can't decide.
うわー、美味しそう。じゃあ俺はシナモンシュガーとこの赤いハート型のドーナツでお願いします。
I want the purple one. Then I'll have the custard donut, and I scanned the display case once more. What did we decide? Alright, so we're gonna look at a salted butter donut first. Oh, there's a salty one too. Alternating between sweet and salty always makes me hungry. I'll have the salted butter donut, please.
はい、かしこまりました。お持ち帰りですか？
Yes, please.
塩バタードーナツか。その手があったね。
What do you mean?
ほら、甘いのとしょっぱいのって交互に違った味を食べられるから無限に飽きが来ないってよく言わない？
Yeah, that's why I chose this one.
やっぱり
Realizing we both came to the same conclusion, it seemed like we're really in tune with each other. I was thinking that Robin handed me the bag with the donuts.
はい、どうぞ。塩バタードーナツは当店自慢の一品なんで楽しんで食べてくださいね。ありがとうございました。
Back up. Alright, frosted donut. I'll take this pink frosted donut, please.
はい、かしこまりました。お持ち帰りですか？
Yes, please.
アイシングクッキーは作ったことあるけど、ドーナツにもこんな綺麗に模様が描けるんだね。俺も試してみようかな。
Yeah, the little pink flowers make it almost too pretty to eat. How will you decorate?
ドーナツの形を生かすならタイヤにするかな。ホイールのデザインもちゃんと再現できそうだしね。
That's so you, Gil. We chatted about random things like this as Robin finished packing our donuts.
はい、お待たせしました。当店のドーナツは全部美味しいので、一口たりとも気を抜かず食べてくださいね。それじゃ、またのお越しを。
After we bought the donuts, we left the crowded store and headed to Lost York Park. We sat down and shared our donuts, enjoying a delightful treat. This is delicious.
本当だね。生地に隠し味が練り込んであるのかな。これはうちじゃ作れない味だな。
You know, I just realized like how much food they eat in Cupid Parasite. In Nine Rip, I don't think they've eat. I think they ate. She went to a cafe once and ate stuff. Cupid Parasite, they're always eating in every route. She cooks in Ryuki's. She cooks in Shelby's. They eat donuts here. There's just always food. We savored our treats, washing them down with coffee we'd also bought. Just then Gil's phone buzzed with a new message.
なんだろう。ごめん、ちょっと見ていい？
Right then, new guy. That new guy, that YouTuber guy. Go right ahead.
ああ、ロビンからだ。何仕事が終わるのが18時半だから、今日の19時ぐらいにご飯でもどうですかだって。オイスターのお礼もしたいしって。どうする？
I'm okay with that. I was also curious about how he had been since the oyster incident, and I wanted to ask Robin about Gil's book since he was Lovebirds. After all, Robin was the quintessential romance YouTuber. I wondered what he thought about Gil's book.
じゃあ、せっかくだし一緒にご飯行こっか。返事しとくね。でも19時まで時間あるし、それまでどこに行く？君が行きたいところをよかったら教えて。
After sending the message, Gil turned back to me. It had been a while since our last outing, and Gil was so keen to go where I wanted to go. But today was supposed to be a day for Gil to relax. I held his hand and looked him in the eye. Well, where do you want to go, Gil?
俺？
Yeah, you haven't had a day off in a while, right? I want to do whatever you want to do today, Gil.
俺のしたいこと。
He's blushing. Looking at me, Gil blushed for a brief moment, but he quickly shook his head, trying to play it off.
どうしようかな。俺のしたいことは昨日できたし。
Oh, really? In the workshop?
いやでもここの公園でのんびり過ごすのも気持ちよさそうって。あれ？なんだろう。
He blushed so hard when he said that too. Gil stood up and peered out into the park. I stood on my toes to see, and I noticed a building further into the park. Hey, you're right. I wonder if they opened a new shop there. I searched for Lost York facilities, and the information came up immediately. Lost York University.
カップル用バスケットコート？
What? For couples? We looked at each other, not understanding what that meant.
二人でワンオンワンをして新しい恋を育もうって書かれてるけど。
So maybe playing sports helps grow a deeper bond?
ワンオンワンだとどっちかっていうと勝負になるけど、でもいいな、バスケか。最近ちょっと体なまってきたし、少しやってみたいな。
Does Cupid play though? Gil smiled and looked at the gymnasium, his excited gaze reminding me of when we went bouldering. Speaking of which, Gil actually likes exercising. Then shall we go?
いいの？
Yes. This will be interesting. We went to sign up to use the court as a couple. A one-on-one match involved taking turns on offense and defense all the way to the match point. I felt competitive and challenged Gil to score the most points, but... he scored another point. Gil was quick and I couldn't defend against his shots. I even went to sports shoes at the reception and changed clothes. Gil was just wearing his regular clothes and I couldn't win at all.
じゃあ次は君から。ほら、ボール持って。
I won't lose next time. I kept my focus on Gil and dribbled the ball towards the hoop behind him. I planned to dash to his left for a jump shot, but then...
捕まえた。
While I was dribbling, Gil hugged me and I couldn't move. I'm pretty sure that's foul play. You can't touch them. Come on, Gil, that's a foul. I know, right?
一生懸命な君が可愛すぎてつい。じゃあ俺がファールだから今は君にワンポイントで。
No, that's insulting. I won't lose to you this time.
わかった。ほら、おいで。
Gil squatted down with his hands up in defense. It looked like he didn't plan to hug me this time. I can't find an opening. His defense was impeccable. I had no idea how to dribble past him. He must have played a lot of basketball in high school. That was why his stance was perfect and looked so cool. I knew I had to play to win, but I couldn't help admiring him. Gil feels different than usual. I had the same thought when we went to bouldering. I actually don't remember bouldering at all. He was more muscular and manly than I had expected. It wasn't fair that Gil suddenly appears so much more manly.
お
What do you mean, was that fair? Do you want to appear manly too? Gil smiled at me in his usual doting way, like in college. Because of that, I suddenly felt embarrassed. I dashed forward while dribbling the ball. This is how you strengthen your romantic bond. Your partner hug tackles you, and then you give each other silly looks. But just as I expected, his defense was solid, and he quickly stole the ball away. This time I committed a foul on him to block his shot. Did you hug him too? Even though the game was heating up, we continued our one-on-one match, playing like two little lovebirds. We continued playing until both of us were drenched in sweat. Then we headed off to the spa to freshen up and continue enjoying our day off. That was cute. After enjoying the day, we received a message from Robin telling us his shift had ended. We decided to meet up with him for dinner.
すみません、待たせちゃって。
いや、大丈夫です。彼女といっぱいデートできたので。
How was work? I was gonna say, despite their refreshing up at the spa, they're still in their same stinky clothes that they sweated in basketball.
ありがとう。ってごめん。普通に喋っていい？そっちの方が楽で。
じゃあ俺も気軽にギルって呼んで。
ありがとう、ギル。それで君は？
I'm Lynette.
よろしく、ギル、リネット。
We chatted a while waiting for our food and drinks. Being considerate of Robin, who has suffered from oyster poisoning, we made sure not to order any.
じゃあオイスターからの復活に乾杯。
はあ、ようやく普通に飯食えるようになって本当にほっとしたよ。
オイスター災難だったね。体調はもう大丈夫？
うん、もうすっかり元通りだよ。本当にあの時は助かったよ。ありがとう、二人とも。
I'm glad you're okay. Food poisoning from oysters is the worst. Are you okay to drink?
うん。医者からも OK もらってるから。そもそも元から食中毒には強いタイプなんだ。だからまさか自分が当たると思ってなくてさ。ボルトモアはオイスターの産地だって聞いてたし、鮮度もいいと思ってたから焦ったよ。
本当ごめん。
なんでギルが謝るんだよ。
いや、ボルトモアは俺の地元だからさ。せっかくロサンヨークから食べに来た人にあんな辛い思いさせちゃってって思って。今度ちゃんとオイスターの鮮度管理を徹底するように言ってみるよ。
You tried that. You got punched in the face.
ありがとな、ギル。あの時も思ったけど、ほんとギルっていい人だよな。
そういや、当たり前のことしただけだし、前も一度会ったからさ。
前も一度ってもしかして俳優のラウル・アコニットのこと？
で、詳しいね。
俺以外にも当たった人がいるかなって入院中に調べてたんだよ。
Speaking of which, Rob mentioned in interviews that he was attacked by Satan.
そう。それで調べたら他にもちょいちょいいるみたいでさ。それで動画上げちゃったんだよね。
あの動画、そうそう、ちょうど並んでた時に見てたんだ。それでついあの場で言いそうになっちゃって。
So, Robin, you're actually lovebirds then. I said that in a heartfelt way, and he looked bashful.
まあ、ちょっとした趣味程度だけどね。
いや、普通は趣味程度であんな人気にならないと思うけど。
I know. Me posting videos on YouTube is just a hobby. Speaking of which, Lovebirds has over 1 million subscribers. What? Yeah, I could monetize my channel and make a members subscription thing, but I haven't haven't put in the effort to really want to do it. Like, I have no idea what I would even offer members, so I'm just putting it in the back of my mind until I actually want to think about it. The Mo Donut employees that got food poisoning from oysters was actually the super famous YouTuber. Looking back, I realized we were talking to somebody impressive here.
でもラブバーズってことはみんなに内緒にしてるから誰にも言わないでいてくれたら嬉しいな。
もちろん内緒にするよ。それより俺さ、ラブバーズにもし会えたらお礼がしたいって思ってたんだ。
And now I'm like, when are they gonna figure out who Gill is?
お礼？
俺の本紹介してくれたから。
Gill pulled up a video we'd watched together before. It was a summary video called Common Mistakes When Preparing for Your Wedding that we'd reviewed prior to our own event.
この動画のラストで俺の本紹介してくれてただろ。それが嬉しくってさ。しかもこの動画のおかげで本の売り上げも伸びてさ。だからずっとお礼が言いたかったんだ。ほんと取り上げてくれてありがとう。
ってあれギルってもしかして君のためのラブレターの作者のギル・ラブクラフト？
実はそうなんだ。
Also president of LCI.
マジで？うわ俺本のファンなんだよね。すごいな、こんなことがあるなんて。ってことはもしかして君がこのラブレターで何度も出てくる君？
Well.
そうだよ。彼女が長年俺が書き続けてきたラブレターを送った相手なんだ。
She's definitely proud of it. I felt a wave of embarrassment rush over me as I tried to keep things vague, but Gill simply came out with it. Gill's book, Love Letters for You, is a novel articulating a pure love story to an unknown recipient. The foundation of those love letters was everything Gill had written to me in the past. In essence, I'm the mystery person.
へえ、そっか。君が君か。
そう、俺が大好きで片思いしててずっと一人書き続けてた手紙の相手が俺の今の奥さんなんだ。
Yo, don't share too much about it. It's embarrassing.
ごめん。俺がどれだけ君を好きかみんな知ってるんだよなって思ったらなんだか嬉しくなっちゃって。
本当にギルって本の通りの人物なんだな。
それを言うならロビンの方は結構動画と印象違うよね。
そう？
動画だともっと声のトーンが高いしさ。てか動画といえば俺たち結婚式準備の時もラブバーズの動画に助けてもらったんだ。
本当
Yes, thanks to the Lovebirds video, our wedding ceremony went off without a hitch, so we want to thank you as well.
へえ、そうなんだ。こうやって生で感想を聞けるのなかなか嬉しいな。
俺も本の感想とかあんま直接聞かないし、だからこうやって話せて嬉しいよ。
あれ？てか君のためのラブレターの著者ってことはLCI 社の新社長ってこと？
まあ、実は。
俺 LCI 社の車に乗ると恋愛成就するって都市伝説について調べた動画も上げてるんだけど、見た？
見た LCI 社の車に乗ってると告白成功率アップするってやつだよね。あの動画も嬉しかったな。ほんとありがとう。
いや俺はただ都市伝説を調べてた流れで動画にしてみただけだよ。
都市伝説ってうちの車が夜な夜な勝手に動き出してカップルに夢を届けるってやつだっけ？
Yeah, that was real. Oh, that must have been Bubble Pig with my Cupid's arrow stuck in it.
そうそう。今もたまにそういうメールが届くよ。LCI 社の車が恋を運んできたってさ。
今もそうなんだ。
Bubble Pig won't be moving on its own anymore, and it didn't have the Cupid's arrow either. That was why the urban legend should have been a thing of the past. Bubble Pig had Cupid's arrow extracted and was now just a normal car, but the rumors still seem to persist. It's true that people who own LCI cars do seem to reach marriage more often with Cupid Corp. Thanks to the Cupid's arrow effect, it became an urban legend leading to an increase in successful dating chances.
そっか。LCI 社の車が恋を運んでくるか。なんだか嬉しいな。
ギルも実際そうなんだろ。君のためのラブレターの後書きに書いてあったじゃん。この手紙を渡す前、ドライブしたってさ。
そっか。そういえばそうだった。ドライブね。
そこの話、詳しく教えてよ。実はずっと気になってたんだ。
なんか照れるな。
Despite his comment, Gil was happy to satisfy Robin's curiosity. Both of them connected really well, even though they seem like completely different types of people. A romance YouTuber and an award-winning author who turned his love letters into a novel, they were different mediums but similar subjects. Romance, huh? As a former Cupid, I found joy in seeing people focused on fostering love amongst themselves. We dined together and discussed those topics over dinner. In the process, Gil got a little too tipsy and started oversharing about his love life. I struggled to rein him in. Poor Gil. Agape way of life. Oh, really? A few days later, that day I was tasked with training Sylvia again with Cupid Corp.
そういえば、このマッチングシステムって一体何なんですか？運命を占っているとか？
When he shows up and then like the whatever the heavens called in their world, Celestia. The Celestia music just comes into... Anyway. No, it's not fortune telling. We developed this proprietary matching system to identify compatible customers. We use the unique color wheel theory of love to categorize these types.
恋愛色彩理論って何ですか？
Well, as someone from Celestia, have you ever noticed that people have different ways of falling in love?
あ、わかります。尽くす恋をする人もいれば、追いかける人もいる。みたいなことですよね。
Yeah, some people are very self-sacrificing while others avoid anything serious. I pulled up a chart on the computer screen to provide more detail. There are 6 different categories of love tendencies in the color wheel theory of love. If we apply this theory to identify a member's tendencies, we can match them with a compatible partner. That's how we operate here.
システムで縁結び。
Livy's eyes widened in shock when he heard this. I had the same reaction when I first learned about it. See how many interesting things humans can come up with. We reference compatibility and then we fine-tune it.
へえ。僕たちならこうしてキューピッドの矢で覗けばわかることをそんな風にして見つけてるんですね。でもそれって元キューピッドとしては不便じゃないんですか？
Not at all. I find this work fulfilling. Experience is key.
経験。
Livy, still a newborn Cupid, seemed confused. I might have gotten a bit too advanced. Yes, by observing humans, I make decisions based on what I believe to be right. That's important as Cupid too, otherwise the couples you pair together will quickly break up.
え？キューピッドの矢の相性が全てじゃないんですか？
I thought the same at first, but even if you matchmake 2 people together, they can still break up after fighting over petty things. Before I left home, there was a time when I felt disheartened. Before I left home, there was a time when I felt disheartened seeing all the couples I paired with Cupid's arrow breaking up. That's why it's crucial for Cupid to update their value system to the modern era. This means observing humans closely.
はい。
Though he took notes with starry eyes, he reminded me of myself when I first arrived in the human realm. I was naive and everything was new. I was amazed by every little thing. All those experiences shaped me into who I am today. Oh, learning human culture is important, so maybe I should show him some movies. And I need to teach him the concept of shopping. Wait, Sylvie, where are you staying at tonight?
深海から通ってます。実はジュピター様から通行証をもらったんです。
Sylvie proudly displayed the pass. It read, Special Travel Pass for Cupid. It bore a striking resemblance to a typical employee ID. Even Lord Jupiter is adopting human methods. Perhaps Lord Jupiter had learned a few things since I left home. The thought brought me a tinge of pride. I should take the time to teach him about shopping and bathing soon. I have to pass on the knowledge Gill gave me. It was crucial for Cupid to grasp the nuances of human daily life. If not, he could be unable to discern when to use or not use the leaded arrow on seemingly incompatible couples. To ensure humans could enjoy a fulfilling love life, Cupid had to undergo sufficient training. The responsibility for that fell on me.
人間の恋結び、結構奥深いんですね。この会社以外にも恋結びをする人っているんですか？
That Eli one, right? Do you mean outside of marriage agencies? Well, there are easy-to-use dating apps. I recall the comment on Robin's video about how someone expressed a desire to fall in love after reading Gill's book. Books, videos, and movies, so many mediums foster romance. They all serve as Cupid's arrow in their own unique way. That's right. Bridal advising isn't the only profession involved in matchmaking. The realization had a huge impact on me. Almost as much as HQH hashtag Cupid happenstance. I could continue matchmaking even if I decided not to stay here, as long as I kept this passion alive.
どうしたんですか？
Nothing much. I'm just realizing how much things in the world encourage romance. I'm sure anything people discuss openly about love likely encourages it.
なるほど。じゃあ、そういうのもぜひ教えてください。
Absolutely, I have a few books and videos to recommend to you.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Next, let's head to the auditorium. Follow me.
はい。
Combining my 400 years of experience as Cupid with my 6 years in the human realm. Did she really live 400 years? Maybe she did. I taught the young Cupid the art of matchmaking. My romantic experiences with Gill were invaluable. They had profoundly transformed me. The joy of falling in love, the bliss of being in love with Gill, I wanted to share these feelings with others. Even if I was no longer Cupid. Looking at Sylvie, I was reminded of my own time as Cupid. It was a nostalgic and somewhat melancholic feeling. That day I took Sylvie to a matchmaking party.
わあ、これは何なんですか？
She got shot at one of these. Anyway. Sylvie, what have we here is what's known as a matchmaking party. It's an important event where members gather to meet potential matches. We wandered around the hall making sure all attendees were comfortable. Today's party has about 3 applicants I'm overseeing. I spotted one of them, Gill's friend's sister. As she saw me, she started to walk over.
アドバイザーさん、今日はパーティーのご案内ありがとうございました。
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm glad you can make it. How are you enjoying the party?
はい、すっごく楽しんでます。やっぱり CC のパーティーはレベル違いますね。これまで会ったことない人ばっかりで。それに今日の参加者の中で相性良さそうな人の情報を事前にいただけていたので、安心してこれからお話できそうです。
I'm glad to hear that.
でもご紹介してもらった人みんないい感じで悩んじゃって。 あちらの茶色のスーツの人と紺のスーツの方、どちらに先に話しかけようって悩んでいたところなんです。
Following her gaze, I spotted the two men. Both were individuals I had researched, knowing they preferred a stay-at-home spouse. Let me consult the results from our matching system.
あの茶色のスーツの人、お姉さんと相性ぴったりですね。
Leave it to Cupid. Oh.
キュピー
Oh my goodness. Sylvie suddenly interrupted, leaving the young woman looking a bit perplexed.
この方は？
He's a student intern here at Cupid Corp.
はい、シルビー・スコットと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。
With a bright smile, Sylvie handed her a business card he had made during his internship.
恋のサポートはお任せください。
頼もしいインターン生さんですね。それでどうして彼の方が私と相性がいいって思ったの？
もちろんキューピッドの勘です。キュピキュピ
There's two of them. Oh my goodness. I apologize for the confusion. Let me explain further. Incorporating the results of our matching system, I retrieved the data that I had prepared earlier and displayed them on my handheld device, which was specifically designed for these parties. As expected from Sylvie, the current Cupid, his intuition was spot on. The man in the brown suit indeed seemed to be a better match considering his hobbies and hometown. I agree with Sylvie's suggestion. The gentleman in the brown suit is also from Baltimore, just like you.
そうなんですか？同じボルトモアか。じゃあ早速あのスーツの彼に話してみます。
I can't imagine the stress of having to purposefully look for someone to like date, fall in love with, and marry. Like it would be so stressful because if you're at this party, you're looking to hook up with someone, right? So just knowing that, like I would be afraid to talk to anyone. People talk to me, sure, that's fine. It shows you're interested in me. Me go talking to someone else, no, I couldn't do that.
はい。あ、ちなみに話しかけるときは普段通りの自分をさらけ出してみてください。きっとその方が好感度アップです。キュピー。
普段通りの自分？緊張しちゃうけど。でも勘が鋭いインターン生くんですもんね。わかりました。行ってきます。
Taking Sylvie's advice to heart, the young woman headed over to the man in the brown suit. I feel nervous. I need to remind Sylvie to base his advice on the matching system, not just intuition. But where does Sylvie run off to?
わあ、あそこにも相性良さそうなカップルがいます。行ってこなきゃ。キュピー。
Sylvie. The next thing I knew, I was hot on Sylvie's heels, chasing him as he darted around connecting couples. The bustling matchmaking party concluded with what felt like in the blink of an eye. Sylvie proved his knack for the job, as many couples successfully paired up under his guidance. Our antics as advisors continued in that fashion. Sylvie was truly passionate about his work. He was able to bring members together and spark connections multiple times each day. From Gil's friend's sister to new members, they all found partners thanks to Sylvie's advice. Our matchmaking was a joint effort between the former Cupid, me, and the current Cupid, Sylvie. Seeing so many happy couples filled me with a sense of fulfillment, but it also stirred a worrying thought. Gil had been swamped with work lately, and our time together had dwindled. With Sylvie around, I started to feel like my presence at work wasn't necessary. I know, right? Sylvie can do whatever you could do. After imparting more wisdom to Sylvie, my workday finally came to an end. You did very well today, Sylvie.
はい、お疲れ様です。帰ったらおすすめしてもらった映画見てみます。ありがとうございました。じゃあ今日はこれで失礼します。キュピーン。
With the wave of his divine artifact, Sylvie vanished, presumably returning to Celestia. commuting from Celestia. Celestia had become much more flexible recently. I imagine Aunt Minerva was feeling less restricted. He worked hard again today. His success in matching customers is impressive. While instructing him, I realized just how well our company was performing. It seemed that human romance no longer required my intervention. The detailed and constantly evolving matching system, the competent advisors, and the passionate rookie Cupid seemed to have it covered. What am I supposed to do now? Go live at home with Gill. That's what you wanted to do, right? Anyways, I should head home for now. Gil's probably at work. Maybe I should pick up some donuts. Eat your feelings. That seemed like a good idea. A sweet treat could be just what Gil needed after a long day. I glanced at my watch, wondering when Gil would get home as I made my way toward Mo Donuts.
いらっしゃいませ。
What to pick today? Gil enjoyed the cinnamon sugar and the red one last time, so... Huh? That person over there looks... Suddenly I spotted a familiar figure reflected in the display case. My surprise spilled out loud. Clarice! Oh my goodness, she's there! I was expecting Marian's. Yes, the person sitting at the table in Mo Donuts was indeed my long-lost friend, Clarice.
あら、リネット、元気だった？
Don't give me that. Where on earth have you been? You vanished without a trace. Back to the underworld. I rushed over to her, demanding answers. Clarice pondered for a moment, put her finger tapping her chin before grinning broadly.
安心して。ちょっと真実の愛を探しに行ってただけだから。
Are you, though? Vanishing as if you were kidnapped isn't the way to find true love.
え？何のこと？
Nobody at the office seems to remember you, Clarice, especially the girls. Some of the men have recollection, but their memories are hazy. Do you have any idea how worried I've been? Yeah, she's a succubus, so only the men would remember her in their dreams.
ああ、そういえばそんな風になるんだったっけ。まあまあ、細かいことはいいじゃない。
We're not telling you. This is no minor detail.
そんなこともあるわよ。気にしすぎだって。
Clarice always acts this way when she doesn't want to answer anything. I cast my mind back to our college days and sighed. Clarice struggled numerous boyfriends, and I had often questioned whether that lifestyle was safe, but she always avoided the topic. I decided to give up on digging any deeper, choosing instead to simply celebrate our reunion. Anyway, I'm relieved to see you're okay. Have you found your true love as you said you would?
真実の愛とまではいかないんだけど、恋なら見つけちゃったわ。
Wait, you did? Tell me more about it. My Cupid instincts kicked in. I quickly bought some coffee and took a seat across from Clarice. So, who is he? Where did you meet him?
もう人の恋バナになるとすぐそうなるんだから。相変わらず変わってないのね、このキューピッドちゃんは。
I can never picture you truly falling for someone.
まあ、私もさすがに予想外よ。この私が恋をする日が来るだなんて。でもね、彼ってばすっごくミステリアスな人で、なんだか目が離せないの。
Her cheeks turned a rosy hue. I had never seen such a reaction from her before. This was a woman who was notorious for her many flings.
誰かを好きになるって案外悪くないものね。
Clarice is serious this time. I had never heard her speak about romance in that way. Something was clearly different. So where did you meet this mysterious man?
実は
The music died. Oh no. With a suggestive look, Clarice pointed discreetly at Mo Donut's employee, Robin. Oh, really? Wait. Robin? You're into him?
し声大きいわよ。
Clarice blushed as she nodded.
実はそうなのよ。最初はいつも通り引っ掛けようと思ったんだけど、全然うまくいかなくって。そうしてドーナツを買ったりして会ってるうちに、
仲良くなっちゃって。
You're not gonna go into his dream.
その上彼いろいろ隠し事があるみたいなのよね。私も詳しくは聞いてないんだけど。
Maybe that's what she meant by luring him in. I suspected that his secret might have something to do with his role as a YouTuber.
そのミステリアスなところがたまらなくて、気がついたら目で追ってたのよ。言っとくけど、まだ彼とは何にもしてないから。ドーナツを買いに来るときに話すぐらい。たまに夢の中で会うくらいよ。
Oh, really? You do meet in his dream? Oh my goodness. We're not gonna talk about that. Meeting in dreams was such a romantic way of putting it. I know. In this route, she hasn't encountered Alan, so she doesn't really know what that means. But this further underscores just how serious Clarice is about this relationship. I'll support you in any way I can.
ありがとう。それよりギルとの新婚生活はどう？うまくいってる？
Of course, but Gil has been pretty busy lately, so I've been pondering whether to continue with my work.
へえ。そういえばギル、もうフリーエディターじゃなくなって LCI 社の新社長になったんだっけ？
Yes, that's right. He says that there are a lot of reliable people since the company has a long history.
ふーん。そういえばギル、大学の頃好きな相手に合わせて時間に融通の利く仕事を選ぶなんて言ってたわよね。
Yes, he did. But now that he has such a fantastic job, I want to be the flexible one.
さすがアガペカップル。でも無理はしちゃダメよ。ギルはそっちの方が辛いと思うから。あなたがのびのび好きなことをしてる。それがギルにとっての幸せじゃない？
Yeah, Gil said the exact same thing.
だと思った。
Clarice and I kept on chatting about our respective love lives. This kind of intimate chat was something we never experienced in college.
へえ、クラリスと再会できたんだ。元気にしてた？
Well, at least his memories are not hazy of her, right? Once Gil and I returned home, we indulged in some donuts and I shared about my encounter with Clarice. Yes, Clarice mentioned that she was going to work at Modena's to be closer to Robin and get a part-time job there.
え？あのクラリスが？
Yes, I was just as shocked. Clarice seemed genuinely in love with this time.
そっか。なら実るように応援できるといいね。
Me too. Clarice was a dear friend whom we spent 4 memorable years in college. But given her reputation for her many relationships, I always felt a twinge of sadness thinking she might never experience true love. But here she was, in love with the Mo Donuts employee and popular romance YouTuber Robin Bullitt. I think Robin and Clarice would make a good match. He's the kind of person Clarice can dote on.
あ、確かにロビンって気さくだけど落ち着いてて、なんか包容力ありそうだよね。普段たくさんのリスナーさんに向けて恋愛情報を発信したり相談に乗ってるからかな。頼りになりそうだよね。
Bill tapped on his smartphone and brought up the Lovebirds channel. The video today was about how to write a love letter.
あ、また俺の本参考文献として紹介してくれてる。
That's nice.
うん、でもなんか照れるな。
The comments praised the nostalgic charm of love letters. One viewer even mentioned their desire to fall in love again. Want to fall in love again, huh? The concept of falling in love again was a rarity at Cupid Corp. The place was a hub for those seeking to get married. It was less about romance and more about lifestyle changes for many Lost Yorkers. Lady Juno may oversee marriages, but Cupid's role is matchmaking, and if that leads to marriage, it's a bonus. I wish that those who had forgotten romance would discover it again, just as Clarice did. My instinct as Cupid hadn't waned, even after becoming human. My inherent desire to support love remains strong. My contemplation was interrupted by Gill's chuckle.
もしかしてキューピッド心がうずいちゃってる？
Huh? How did you know?
わかるよ、君の考えてることならさ。
You get this look on your face. Gill smiled and kissed me on the cheek.
どれだけ長い間君を見てきたと思ってるのさ。大学の頃も君はすぐ人の恋を応援してた。だからわかるよ。君が今も恋のキューピッドをしたいってことはさ。
He ran his fingers through my hair, showering me with kisses. He reveled in our playful, loving exchanges. This was the joy of romance that I had rediscovered, a joy I wanted to share with others. Like how the LCI vehicles deliver love, or how a romance YouTuber did. Yes. Indeed, as a Cupid not familiar with love, I felt compelled to take another step forward. But what could I do? Perhaps... What? Become a YouTuber? Consider a job at LCI? What happened to you becoming a housewife? Become a YouTuber, okay. Job at LCI first. The job at LCI seems promising, given the rumors about their cars delivering love. Perhaps I could propose a love department. But if LCI were to act on these rumors, then they would likely already have done their market research about it. So my idea may not be feasible, but maybe it could lead to something bigger.
リネット？
She's thinking again. Oh. Doing a collaboration with Gill and Lovebirds could be fun. I mumbled my thoughts out loud and Gill looked at me surprised.
え？俺とロビンがコラボ？
Okay, I'm gonna go back up now. Alright, become a YouTuber. Maybe I could become a YouTuber myself and offer romance advice. Although it might not initially reach many people, I could be more thorough and detailed with those who do seek my guidance. I wouldn't have many subscribers when I start. It'll take a while, but maybe... Doing a collaboration with Gill and Lovebirds could be fun. I mumbled my thoughts out loud and Gill looked surprised.
え？俺とロビンがコラボ？
I hadn't meant to voice my thoughts, but there they were. Yes, I was thinking, I want to encourage more people to explore the joy of romance with someone they genuinely like. LCI cars have a reputation for fostering love, and I'd like to have more people read your book. So if you officially teamed up with Robin, you could discuss some incredible love stories. It would benefit everyone.
好きな人といる幸せを。
I'd said a lot, but that seemed to be all Gil heard. My eyes sparkled with enthusiasm as he embraced me.
いいね、しようコラボ。そうだよ、俺もこの幸せを全世界に発信したい。だってこうして君といられて俺は本当に幸せなんだから。君を俺がどれだけ愛しているかもっとみんなに知ってもらいたいよ。
That's not exactly the message I was suggesting.
分かってる。 LCI 社としてもだよね。もちろんそこだけ見てもいい企画だと思う。絶対やった方がいいって。早速ロビンに連絡してみるよ。せっかくだし最近書いた君へのラブレターも持っていこうかな。
Oh, a recent love letter. Wait, a love letter? I didn't know about this.
遂行したら渡そうと思っててさ。だからもう少し待ってて。
Please be patient.
それとうちの会社の担当にも確認を取ってと。
Bill took out his laptop and began reaching out to various people. Watching him work reminded me of President Shelby. President Shelby is famous for being a devoted husband, but I haven't heard any news on that front recently. It's because there is no front. Actually, that is the front. He is not a devoted husband. There is no husband. As those thoughts floated through my mind, I watched Gil immerse himself in his work. Speaking of Shelby Snail, I just realized that, like yesterday, that his voice actor is the same as the voice actor that I don't like in 9 Rip. Yukimaru, I think it is. Like the one that they call him, the one that calls himself like the guardian spirit. The one that's with Koharu in Spirit World, the last route we're doing. I think it's just because the high pitch and the cheery, flamboyant nature of the character is the combination I don't like. Because I like Shelby Snell's voice. Calm, collected, deep, maybe deep. Definitely not high pitched. So I was really surprised when I found out that they were connected. Anyway, sorry, tangent. As those thoughts flooded through my mind, I watched Gill immerse himself in his work. He always seemed to be swamped with work at home and in his workshop. Maybe I should quit my job. That's what you're going to do, right? But it wasn't some old-fashioned line of thought. Helping him with his job was also an important part of my role as Cupid. If the project went through and the collaboration commenced, I'd ask if I could join. As I pondered those things, I watched Gill continue to type up his emails. They're going to be their problem-solving thing.
くそ、あいつのせいで商売上がったりだ。
Oh, maybe this is the conflict I was just talking about. It's not going to be, problem-solved conflict. She's going to quit her job, go support Gill and whatever they're doing, but there's this mystery man 1 talking about ruining a business in some shady warehouse. So this looks like a conflict right here with graffiti all over the walls.
どうするんすかこれ。さすがに謝った方がいいよな。
謝ったら認めることになるじゃないか。いいからお前は黙ってろ。うまくごまかしてやるから。
These are the oystermen. I bet you these are the oystermen. So I guess my theory in episode 2 is right.
今ならまだ間に合う。絶対認めるわけにはいかないんだ。
I was like, I recognize that annoying voice anywhere.
本当に大丈夫かな。
The end. Sweet coffee break. Oh really? I want the coffee. Wait, I didn't get a CG. Dang it. I gotta keep going. No. I want it to just be an hour. I say no, but Gill's route is really dragging for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's really dragging. There's not much interest in it right now, but I don't have a CG. So I could do one of the section intros as a CG, but I don't really want to. So I drafted a project proposal for the collaboration and had Gill and Robin review it. I guess it'll be an hour and a half today. The collaboration between Gill and Robin officially kicked off with LCI and their official sponsor. Things started getting busy. When Sylvie became more independent, I decided I would quit my job so that I could focus entirely on this project. Oh, she actually did it. Finally, my last day arrived. After transferring my current clients to Sylvie, I went around to bid farewell to everyone. I wasn't here long, but thank you for everything.
こちらこそありがとうございました。
Did you say she wasn't here for long? She was there for like 3 years.
おめでとう。新しい門出を楽しみにしてるわ。
Actually, I know why I don't have a CG. It's because I did an hour and a half in the last episode, which the workshop episode would have been, I think it was like what, soda break, lemon soda or something like that, would have been in this episode. But because I did an hour and a half, I had 2 CGs in the last one, and I have 0 CGs in this one. So hopefully this one will give me a CG. I'm hoping. If not, I'm just gonna have to make up one, I guess.
ええ、うちでも一番熱心だったあなたならどこに行ってもうまくやれそうだもの。LCI 社の発展のために頑張ってね。
それでうまくいったらぜひうちともコラボしましょう。
ああ、そうだな。 我が社としても良好な関係が構築できるよう祈っている。
Thank you for showing up, Shelby. I was trying to remember what your voice sounded like. So yeah, he's got a deep voice, right? I would think so. Complete opposite of Yukimaru. Even the president and Owen came to see me off. Everyone showed up to celebrate my new path in life.
パラサイトハウスの件や数々の縁結びをありがとう。私もいろいろと刺激をもらった。君のような優秀な社員を失うのは痛手だが、ますますの活躍と発展を祈っている。
ええ、これまで本当にありがとうございました。新しい場所でのご活躍を楽しみにしております。
僕も先輩に教わったこと忘れません。これからもたくさんのカップルが成立するように頑張りますから、安心してくださいね。
頼もしいな。どうやら君は教育係としても優秀だったようだ。何かあればいつでも連絡をくれ。もちろん戻ってきてくれても構わない。
President Shelby.
そうね。私たちももちろん再入社はいつでも大歓迎よ。頼りにしてるんだから。あとついでにいい感じの人が LCI 社にいたら紹介よろしくね。
あなたね、いつもそれなんだから。
We all used to go to the cafe for lunch and dinner after work. We even visited the fortune teller together. All those fun memories flooded back, but I didn't regret my decision. Regardless of the form it took, I believed I could continue matchmaking as long as I desired it. The pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much, everyone. And with that, I left Cupid Corp. I hadn't anticipated such a send-off. It brought a few tears to my eyes on the walk home. And then... I'm gonna be abducted. Oh,
リネッ
okay.
ト、新しいスタートだね。おめでとう。
Aw, Claire showed up. Ah, thanks. Wait, Clarice and Robin are here too. On the way home, Gil asked me to meet him at Cutie's diner. I hadn't expected to see Clarice and Robin there as well.
ギルから今日が最後の出勤だって聞いてからさ、君の新たな旅立ちをお祝いしようって話になったんだ。
リネット、聞いたわよ。ついに仕事辞めたんだって。おめでとう。
You finally quit your job. Thanks, and with Gil's new project, I wanted to focus my efforts on being a Cupid.
キューピッド業？
I realized that I can do matchmaking anywhere, and Cupid Corp has excellent advisors already. That's why I decided to focus on matchmaking elsewhere.
縁結びねえ。相変わらず変なこと考える子ね、あなたは。
While we were talking, our food and drinks arrived. On the table were the famous Lost York duck burger, fries, sausages, and fried chicken. It was the party platter we often enjoyed in college. That looks more food. I talked about food earlier, right? That looks delicious.
退職祝いにいろいろ頼んでおいたんだ。じゃあ改めて乾杯しよう。
I only mentioned it because I'm tired of saying the word delicious in this game. I don't know why, I just don't like that word.
そうね。
乾杯!
We raised our glasses in a toast and ate to our heart's content. I had expected quitting my job to feel more somber, but it turned into a pleasantly surprising farewell party. So, Clarice, how have you been lately? I lowered my voice to ask about any developments between her and Robin. She bashfully smiled in response.
毎日モードーナツで働いてるわ。これからロビンが忙しくなるって言うし、その分シフト入ろうと思って。
Funny. You want to pick up more shifts so she can hit on the manager.
ありがとう、クラリス。急に他の仕事が忙しくなってさ、おかげで助かってるよ。
平気よ。仕事も楽しいし。
Oh, I'm sure you do.
そっか、ロビンとクラリスが今は同僚なんだ。
They seem to be getting along well. Working together seemed to have brought them closer, like colleagues or friends, but they weren't quite lovers yet. Well, obviously. Claire didn't seem to be aware of Robin's other job. I should be careful not to reveal that it's about the collaboration. Robin wanted to keep his identity as a romance YouTuber a secret. If he decided to disclose it, he'd do so himself.
それよりロビンと2人が知り合いだなんて思わなかったわ。どこで会ったの？
He saved his life.
実はネプチューン祭りでたまたま会ったんだけど。
俺絶対もう生ではオイスター食べないよ。
何オイスター？
The four of us shared a lively conversation after that. The unexpected double date was delightful. We enjoyed the evening until it grew dark.
飲んだ楽しかった。
Once the party wrapped up, we left the place. Clara stretched, her voice filled with happiness. It was late and the entire town was quiet.
じゃあ俺たちこっちだから。
Thanks for today.
こちらこそ。2人の新生活期待してるから。あ、これ私とロビンからの退職祝いよ。ビスゲスのチョコレートなの。よかったら2人で食べて。
Thank you both.
うわ、美味しそう。ありがとう。一緒に食べるよ。
ライフスタイルが変わってギル先生の新作がどうなるか俺も楽しみにしてるよ。
そりゃまあ確かに筆乗りそうだけど。てかそっか、明日から君が家にいてくれるんだ。毎日君がいるんだ。
He's already going down La La Land.
リネット頑張ってね。じゃあロビン行きましょう。
Did she say Shelby?
OK。じゃあ2人ともおやすみ。
Claire linked her arm with Robin's as they walked away together. Oh, really? Guess you're closer than coworkers? Is Clarice taking this relationship more seriously than I thought? Clarice had a habit of going home with guys, which concerned me, so I watched them. They entered a bar that was still open late. It seemed they weren't heading home together, but rather going for another round of drinks. They both can handle the liquor pretty well. Clarice never got drunk no matter how much she drank, and Robin hadn't appeared buzzed at all. On the other hand, Gill was already pretty tipsy. That was probably why Clarice and Robin decided to hit another bar. I hope things progressed between them. As I thought about that, Gill gripped my hand tightly.
ほら、俺たちも帰ろう。
He's got the loving husband doting voice. Yeah. Hand in hand, we started walking, filled with anticipation for our new life together. Drink some coffee, that was in the title. The next day, it's like always the next day. That's how they start all these.
まさかリネットがずっと家にいてくれるだなんて夢みたいだ。
He's gonna be hopeless, isn't he? It was like that from the moment we woke up. I was trying to work next to him, but he kept trying to hug and kiss me.
幸せだな。君と結婚できて。俺は世界で一番幸せな男だよ。
You'll remember, it's not like I'm just staying at home. I'm here to help you with the collaboration, okay?
わかってるよ。でも初日ぐらいくっつかせてよ。
I mean, yeah, you're there to work, but you're at home with your husband. Let him dote on you.
またいつ忙しくなって会社に呼び出されるかわからないしね。
I know, he's gonna go to work and not come home for like 12 hours. He gave me a tight hug, rendering me immobile. If the collaboration is a success, things might get busy. You might not be able to come home early. But we've been living like this up until now, right? Bill seemed even more excited than when we first started living together. The fact that I would be home all day meant something special to him. However, this resulted in Gil following me around everywhere. His happiness aura was almost palpable.
あ、リネット。カプチーノの泡ついてる。
Oh my goodness, he just slurped her. I don't like that noise. He just like slurped something off of her face. My cat slurps whenever she cleans herself. It's so annoying. She just sits there and like sucks the fur off of her when she cleans. It's so gross sounding. I always kick her to the floor when she does that. Like, go slurp your fur somewhere else. Oh. He licked my cheek. He slurped your cheek. And I quickly covered my face with my hand. Come on, there was nothing there.
さっきまであったんだよ。
There was a second ago. Gil kept teasing me like that, so I decided that on busy mornings I wouldn't make cappuccinos. Why not? Gil made the coffee this morning, so I completely forgot. Well, yeah, okay, well, if he makes it for you, then you have no choice. Gil even took care of the housework today, calling it an anniversary. That's funny. Should I have stayed? Oh, come on, you know you like it. No, she's relieved. Okay. We're gonna look at stayed first. If Gil continues doing all the housework, then maybe I didn't need to quit. For a brief moment, I considered that, but seeing the smile on Gil's face, I felt reassured about my decision. Come on, Gil. You're going to start your new book today, right? Didn't you say your goal was to finish chapter 1? Self-discipline was challenging. Having someone there to keep an eye on you could keep you in check.
はーい。君に催促されたら一生ぐらいすぐに書き終えられそうだよ。
Give him rewards for finishing it. There you can lick more cappuccino off my face. Watching Gil concentrate on his writing, I felt a sense of relief. He'll gladly accept anything I point out, so if I can get a feel for how fast he works, I might be able to manage his schedule. Alright, I have work to get to. Alright, let's go back. I'm relieved to quit my job. I didn't think he would be this happy. If my quitting brought him this much joy, then it was the right decision. Come on, Gil, you need to start work on your book today, right? Oh, really? All the way back here?
うん。でも安心して。君が横にいたらはかどりそうだからさ。
Watching Gil concentrate on his writing, I felt a sense of relief. Thank goodness. I quit my job to help Gil in his work, but at this rate, I could just end up disrupting his work. Alright, I have work to do. Alright, I have to get to work too. In order to maintain progress with the collaboration preparations, I opened up my new laptop and began working alongside Gil. First up is the timetable for the launch today and a review of the project proposal. Oh, also, a sample of the press release came in, so I should check it before handing it over to Gil. Drawing on my experience at Cupid Corp, I assumed the role similar to Gil's agent while also dealing with correspondence. He became the secretary, like in Shelby's route. The LCI work handled by the president's secretary, but Gil Lovecraft, the author, didn't have anyone supporting him yet. Sitting side by side as we worked brought a sense of joy that made me smile.
はあ、なんとか形になってきた。
A few hours later, Gil looked up from his long stretch of concentration, giving himself a big stretch. Good job, I made some coffee. Would you like some?
え、いつの間に？
She's the devoted secretary. You were so focused, Gil. You did a great job.
ありがとう。
I served some Biscays, I think it's Biscay. Served some Biscay chocolates that Clarice had given us yesterday, along with the coffee.
あ、ちょうど甘いもの食べたかったんだ。いただきます。
He bit into the chocolate and his eyes widened in surprise.
おいしい。
I know, more food.
ここのチョコ初めて食べたけど、よく雑誌に取り上げられてるだけあって美味しいや。 コーヒーともよく合ってる。
I swear like 30% of this game is like food talk. Seeing Gil enjoy the chocolate so much, I became curious about the taste. That chocolate, it looks so... Uh-oh. She gets drunk if she eats chocolate. If she gets drunk off... I know this is gonna go if she gets drunk. But I heard from Auntie that gods weren't supposed to eat chocolate. During college, I avoided it by telling others I didn't like it. But I'm not a god anymore, so it should be okay, right? Well, I guess we'll see. Cautiously, I took a piece and tasted it. It was like a lightning bolt of flavor. This is really good. I never knew something that delicious existed in this world. I was so taken aback by the taste that I reached for another piece. Gil watched me blankly.
あれリネット、チョコダメなんじゃなかったっけ？
I thought so too, but it seems like it's okay now.
平気？大人になって味覚が変わったのかな？
Why don't you just tell him? Gil gave me a curious look as I reached for another piece of chocolate and sipped my coffee. I didn't feel strange at all. Actually, I was enthralled by how delicious it was. Could it be that we weren't allowed to eat it because it was so good that we might overindulge? I mulled over this thought as Gil started eating his chocolate again. However, a few minutes later, I felt a strange floating sensation. It was not what I expected. Oh my goodness, she's drunk. Oh, here we go. I wanted to try the raspberry flavored one, but I hesitated, feeling that I shouldn't eat anymore. Continuing to hold the chocolate, I placed my other hand over my heart. Gil looked at me, a worried expression on his face.
リネット？大丈夫？やっぱり具合悪くなった？
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just, well... A flush warmed my cheeks, and my mind spun like I'd consumed too much alcohol. Could it be I got drunk off chocolate? I assumed it would be harmless now that I'm human, but...
リネット？熱があるのかな？
His cool hand on my forehead was such a comfort against my heat-soaked body.
熱は一応ないみたいだけど、大丈夫？寝室で休む？
His worry was evident. When he looked at me like that, my heart just sped up. I turned away from him, shaking my head. That's not it. I think the chocolate made me drunk.
え？チョコに酔った？
I was warned by Auntie that chocolate is a forbidden food for gods. But I assumed being human would resolve everything. It seems I was mistaken, though. My body burned with a feverish heat, and tears welled up in my eyes. The chocolate I held in my hand started to melt from my body's warmth. Gil, what should I do with this? Do you want it? What's wrong with you? Did you flip a switch in him again? Is he turned on by your drunken state? I thought it would be best not to eat anymore. Gil looked on, holding his breath.
待って、その顔はまずいって。
Gil?
さ、リネット、気持ち悪さとか頭痛とかそういうのはないんだよね。
Because we're not going to take advantage of a sick person, right? I feel warm and a bit woozy, but aside from that, I'm okay. I think I'll be fine. I feel warm, but aside from that, I'm okay. I think I'll be back to normal soon. To reassure him, I tried to smile. Suddenly, Gil grabbed my wrist. He's turned on by the melted chocolate in your fingers. Without warning, he took the chocolate from my fingers and tasted it. He licked my fingers, and it caused my shoulders to twitch. Gil? That's gonna be quite the CG, isn't it?
甘い。確かに夢中になって食べ過ぎたら酔っちゃいそうだね。
His eyes glanced up at me while he nibbled at my fingers. His heated gaze made my temperature rise further. I knew this is where this was going. It was the intense gaze of someone infatuated, a look I was used to even after we got married.
リネット、かわいい。食べちゃいたいぐらいだよ。
Gil,
でもチョコより君の指の方が甘いみたいだ。
A shiver ran down my spine at the sight of his fierce smile as he gently licked my fingers. He should be working right now. Desperately, I attempted to make sense of the situation with my foggy, drunk mind. I'm so uncomfortable right now. It was true that Gil said that he wanted to take a break after finishing a portion of his book, but there was still other work to do. Wait, Gil, we need to get back to work.
こんな可愛くなっちゃったリネットを見て仕事できると思う？
He leaned closer after the gentle kiss on my finger. I barely noticed his face was now right in front of mine. But what about your work in the workshop?
ああ、あれはもう終わったんだ。完成したから工房作業はもうおしまい。
And your book?
大丈夫。後でするよ。
We'll do it later. He murmured before stealing a kiss. I clung to him dazed, hearing him gasping for breath. Goodness.
ああ、もうこれ以上可愛くなるの反則。
He deepened the kiss, a bittersweet mix of coffee and chocolate. Oh my goodness. I surrendered to the intoxicating taste of chocolate for the first time in my life, and so our sweet coffee break continued. Oh my god. Okay, it sounds like it's over. Okay, maybe not. Oh, it's from his point of view. I enjoyed this sweet break after she turned so adorable by getting drunk on chocolate. As Lynette slept on the sofa, I couldn't help but smile, watching her so endearingly intoxicated by chocolate. Okay, it's done.
ああ、もう可愛いな。
Her flushed cheeks were evident even in her sleep. Her pale shoulders peeked from under the blanket, making me feel drunk in return.
さっきのこの子、本当に可愛かったな。
I didn't expect her to get drunk on chocolate. Her cheeks reddened after eating chocolate, and she seemed more affectionate than usual.
それで珍しくおねだりをしてくれたんだよな。
For chocolate? I hope. I can see Gil thinking he's going to use this in the future. She's more affectionate and she begged for more something. So we're going to feed her, we're going to keep a stash of chocolate in her cupboard. For when we want drunk Lynette. Okay, it wasn't more chocolate. Her words more echoed in my mind. Normally she'd be embarrassed, but this time she was unusually bold. It drove me wild and I teased her too much. I made her cry sweetly, lost in the throes of passion. Goodness, why are we talking about this? Her joyful smile was almost my undoing. My head spun with desire to see her like that again. Yep, he's going to keep chocolate in his house now.
まずいな。またしたくなってきたよ。
But I pushed her too far and now she was asleep. I had to restrain myself or she'd end up hiding away. That's what she did in episode 1. He scared her so much that she hid underneath the covers because she was so embarrassed to look at him. Gil has a little bit of a wild side, doesn't he? This makes me embarrassed to read, but it's so funny.
まあ、あれも可愛いんだけど。
Just do it. If you find it cute, why not? I traced her cheek with my finger, her softness setting my heart racing. She was always within my reach.
ああ、もう可愛すぎるよ。
Her slightly parted lips and the marks I left on her skin was far too tempting. I needed to work, but I didn't think I could concentrate.
いや、ダメだ。俺がちゃんと集中しないと。彼女は自分がいると邪魔になるからって家を出て行きそうだし。
And because she was so earnest and serious about everything, she'd feel responsible if I slacked off. I had to work harder for her sake.
愛してる。大好きだよ。
Oh, quick. After a final kiss, I dressed and returned to work on my book.
あ、そうだ。仕事のメールもさっき来てたよな。返事もしなきゃ。
Instant work mode. Between my new book, LCI task, and an upcoming collaboration, there was plenty to do. Her presence next to me was a source of strength. It was as if her warmth made me invincible.
でも、チョコがダメってことは、ホットチョコレートとかもダメだよな。
See, he's already plotting his tricks.
じゃあ、今度作っちゃおうかな。チョコを食べたこの子可愛かったし、チョコ自体は美味しかったみたいだし。
There were so many chocolate treats she hadn't tried yet, so I wanted to introduce her to a world of chocolate she didn't yet know. My heart lit up with warmth from being able to learn something new about her. It was exciting to think about discovering more sides of her.
楽しみだな。
Oh, I'm sure. I would love her no matter what.
あ、そうだ。この気持ちを筆に乗せて。
Are you gonna write about getting drunk on chocolate? As I continued to type, I thought about my love for her.
愛というのは知る喜びを与えてくれるもので。
I felt her presence next to me, peacefully sleeping as I continued to write my new book. Her presence gave me even more motivation to keep going and accomplish more. Before I knew it, I had written a whole draft. After that, Lynette woke up and seemed relieved. Well, there you go. We got our CG. This episode's gonna be so long, oh my goodness. It might be an hour and a half. I did ramble on a bit in the beginning that I'm going to cut out, but it's not going to be 15 minutes. So it's probably going to be like an hour 40 minutes. It's still a long episode, and I have to edit it tonight. So that is it for Gill. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like down below and are subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.